Welcome to Family Features, a podcast for anyone who wants to experience healthy relationships within their family. This is Dr. Corey Gilbert, and I'm honored to come alongside you to encourage, educate, and equip you as we focus on the different relationships that make us family. Let's get started and focus on today's feature. Hey, welcome to the Family Features podcast. This is Dr. Corey Gilbert here with my daughter, Mylie.
Hi.
And we are having another conversation about something from this book that my daughter and my wife went through called Lies Girls Believe.
And the truth that sets them free.
By Dana Gresh. The link will be in the show notes as well. But we're looking at truth number 18, and you picked this one. And the truth is what?
I picked pretty much all of them, but
Yes.
the truth is every word you speak and every thought you think about someone should please God.
Every word you speak and every thought. So what I say and what I think
Should be appeasing to God.
should make God smile. Is it?
No.
No.
Probably
Remember our conversation before this with Mom. What did she say? She says, I don't speak a lot, but I have things in my head
that
I keep to myself.
And like you said,
And about you, what did I say about this?
that it's kind of hard for me for us, since you and me talk so much.
Yeah, so we kind of set the bar high. We used a lot of words. Am I pleasing to God all the time? And the answer is no. And so understanding that's really important. This is a really scary statistics or from the studies that they talk about here. Almost half of girls who took our survey say they have been bullied. Is probably much higher than that in other surveys. And then they said that 29% of girls say they have been the bully, or they stood by and let it happen without doing anything to stop it. And so, what's the lie?
The lie is that it is okay to be mean. It is not.
It is not okay to be mean. And as crazy as you have the potential to be mean, I have the potential to be mean.
And you.
We all have the potential to be mean. We have it in us.
Yeah.
So how do we steward that? How can I tame my tongue? How can I not be mean? I just don't? Is it that simple?
Nope.
Nope. What is it that...
Reading the Bible, maybe?
Yep. So what I put in my head, if I'm putting in stories, like a lot of the books I read, that are actually painting the picture of a mean girl, it's going to potentially make you more likely to be responding like a mean girl, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking about the Pegasus series. I read in the first book, the girl is about Emily. She had to decide if she would as she sacrifice her life to save the Olympians. But then she actually just got powers and survived after stepping into the flame and stuff. But she had to decide would she sacrifice herself to help people or not. So I'm thinking that might be a good example.
Yeah, and so that's the kind of stuff you read. If you read stuff that actually was really negative, you would become more negative.
And then also someone that helped her in the book, Joel, he actually had been a bully. But he was also
He was reformed. He had grown.
Sure. But he also lived in a foster family with like 8 other kids. So.
Yeah. So he'd really been hurt probably a lot. And it's interesting how people that are hurt a lot don't tend to necessarily come away from that and have learned from that so they don't hurt people. They actually tend to hurt people. And the saying is hurt people, hurt people. So if I've been hurt, I'm more likely to hurt others. And so hear the lie, it's okay to be mean. No, it's not. Yeah, but it might be a default for so many of us. That's just like a setting in our brain. We're set to be more selfish and to be more protective, to blame. Lots of different words we could put there. Mean's another one, which is really scary.
Yeah.
What does it talk about here? It says, I think being mean is worse than ever. For one thing, girls use mean girl talk to greet each other. When they want to greet a good friend they haven't seen for a while, they might say something like, "What's up, ugly?"
I don't really get that.
You don't get that? Okay, that's... Hopefully you haven't really experienced it that much. Guys are really bad at it too. But in the next statement it says, I can't even. Stop the madness. And we need to stop doing that. There's certain things like that that are culturally okay. So our friends do it, then we need to kind of go, guys, maybe we don't need to talk that way about each other. Like, what's up, ugly?
Because, like, it makes people think you're being mean, but you're actually just trying to be, like, funny, maybe.
Exactly. And actually, that's some of the funny that we are. Actually, what if a person really thinks they're ugly? And then I go, what's up, ugly? They don't take it lightly. I was saying it lightly. But they're going to take it like, oh my gosh, they think I'm ugly. Maybe I really am ugly. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so you don't know what's going on in their head. I don't know what's going on in yours. And as a parent, that scares me. Because as a parent, I can't fix it. I can't make it right. I can't make you think right. So it talks in the beginning. Every word you speak and every thought you think about someone should please God.
But Daddy, you can't stop yourself from being mean, so how can you stop me from being mean?
Ouch.
It's true.
So
Everyone's
where are we
mean.
going with this? This is really important.
We're going to the next page.
You're going to the next page. The truth nugget. Let's look at that real quick.
May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be pleasing to you, O Lord, my rock and redeemer. Psalm 19:14.
And so we have a truth nugget there, which is what it calls it here in this book. That's really important. That I have a command from God as to who I'm supposed to be, and I fail all the time.
Like, I'm thinking about Blaze, who talks a lot. He might sometimes try and be funny, like as it says in the book, but he might not notice that he's actually being really mean. So that's something he needs. Like, as you guys say, he needs to learn the boundary.
Right. And it talks here about James 3. So the book of James in the Bible, chapter 3, is about taming our tongues. It says that people have tamed all kinds of wild animals, birds, reptiles, and sea creatures, but no one
can tame the tongue.
Right.
Except God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit and
Yeah. So we need to learn. That's why this is important in Psalms. May the words of my mouth, that's what I say, and the meditation of my heart be pleasing to you, O Lord, my rock and redeemer. That's so important for us.
Yeah.
It's something that I'm in my 40s and learning. And ironically, when I was your age, same thing. Mom and Dad got on my case for using words inappropriately or being mean or things like that. And so it's the same for you, but it's growing. We're always learning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That girl in the picture kind of looks like me in a way. White with red hair.
Yep. So is there any other good, important information we should learn from this? Look at your list. So she made a list, a keyword outline we call it. And the first point was truth, or the first title, your words and your thoughts matter. The lie, it's okay to be mean. That's not okay. And then what else did you write?
We should be smart and think before we talk.
So we should be smart and think before we talk. That's a hard one, especially for someone who has a lot of words to get out.
Yeah, and sometimes you and Mom talk a lot, so you change the subject before I have time to put it in there, and it feels like I shouldn't put it in there.
Yep, that's true.
And it's annoying.
It's true.
I never have a chance to speak.
Yeah, because we kind of have to limit how much you talk sometimes. But what position do you put yourself in when you're trying to speak?
Oh yeah, that's the
What is that?
Well, the karate teacher says instead of like raising your hand and stuff, do this. I don't really know why.
And so you actually, it's been neat to see over the last few years you do that. And we know she's waiting to, others, like kids are taught to kind of just do this on the parent's shirt or something like that. So the way that you stand at attention like that is actually really neat.
Or sit. And
we sometimes ignore and sometimes, because we're also not perfect too.
If I take the time to actually do this, which is sometimes gets tiring.
Right.
I could probably care about saying it, so. Yeah.
But we should be smart and think before we talk. So that means we need to actually have thought through it to actually have changed what we were going to say to something that's a little more thought through. And then your next one says,
listen for mean thoughts.
What does that mean? Listen for mean thoughts.
I meant we need to listen, try and catch any mean thoughts we're thinking and just get rid of them.
So if you think, oh, I hate my brother, what should you do? I
should say, wait, I actually love my brother, I just don't like him. Which is true, but no one ever really says that.
But the way you said that was really neat. The way you said that was really neat. Because you can be really ticked off with them and still go, but I still love him. So that's very important for all relationships. You can still love someone and disagree.
Now I'm thinking of in 1 John chapter 4,
Mm-hmm.
how it says that if you can't love your brother and sister who you can see, how can you love God who you have not seen?
It's so important. Good recall there.
That's something I really like.
Yeah, it's so important.
'cause
If you can't, so say that again. How can you love your
How can you love your brother and or sister
that you can see?
If you can't love God who you cannot
Can't see. Yeah, it's so important to sit there and just think on that.
Like, some people say they hate their brother and sister, and they might think they do, but if they actually think through it themselves, they really do care.
And they can care and hate what their brother or sister are doing. Like, you can hate it when they're acting mean. We actually we remind you guys, stop using the word hate even. That's almost a little too harsh. I don't like it when they do this. And save that word hate for something much stronger that we actually need to be careful with, which is really important. Yeah, so listen for mean thoughts means there's things in my head that it's like they goes there without me choosing. So how can I grab that and take every thought captive?
Like, it might be like a part of your brain that doesn't like what they're doing is like, I'm going to tell this to them. Just pushes it to our consciousness.
That's a good picture. I love that.
And then the part that cares is like, wait, I need to get her to get this out. Kind of.
I love that. That's a good picture. Smart. That's really cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you listen to the mean thoughts and you go, no. And you tell them, go away. Or, you're not true. I believe this. And as you do that, you're taking every thought captive and you're actually being in charge.
And you're strengthening your love for God, maybe?
You are. Yeah. Absolutely. And others. And then your last point here was?
Try and find sneaky snake messages and push them out.
What in the world is a sneaky snake message?
Well, in the 1 John stuff we've been watching, they called Satan the sneaky snake, and said sneaky snake messages are messages that are not true.
Right. So sneaky snake messages are not true. And so we need to actually pay attention to them. That there are little stories that play in my head that tell me something about myself. That I don't like how I look, or how my voice sounds, or my eyes, or my nose, or my hair.
I like it. I like all this.
Well, you wanted to get your hair cut short, and then you wanted it straight.
I've changed the straight part. I don't really like that as much.
But it's funny, because that's very normal. A lot of girls have curly hair, want straight hair, and if they have straight hair, they want curly hair, and if they have one color, they want another.
I like my hair colors. I just can't decide if I want straight or curly hair.
Well, guess what? God already decided it for you.
Curly?
Yeah, it's kind of cool. And you know what? I think those freckles all need to go.
I'm fine with them.
Good.
Like, you have a lot of freckles.
What's crazy is if there's this party that's like, I really don't like my freckles, then you would have, that moment gone, maybe he's right, inside your head. So it's a struggle, because there's always interactions with family, with friends, everywhere, where people have opinions or just say something funny, and they're actually being mean. Even if they didn't mean to, they are being mean. And try and find sneaky snake messages and push them out. And this is back to that verse, Psalm 19:14. May the words of my mouth
and the meditation of my heart be pleasing to you, O Lord, my rock and redeemer. Psalm 19:14.
Yeah, may the words of my mouth and meditation of my heart. And so that's the meditation of my heart is so what I'm reading, what I'm putting in my head. So the time in the Bible, the time in worship, the sermons I listen to, books, everything, movies, TV shows. So that's really important. So these are really good. I like this.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we're going to recap real quick. We have the truth is what?
Your words and thoughts matter.
Yes. And then the lie.
It's okay to be mean.
Okay to be mean. No, it's not. And then the tactics, we should be
smart and think before we talk.
Oh, that's so hard. Listen for
mean thoughts.
And try and find
sneaky snake messages and get rid of them.
Yep, push them out. Love it.
Say, go away. That's not true.
That's right. Talk to yourself. Be crazy. Yeah, and we're actually always talking to ourselves, aren't we?
Just sometimes we're talking to ourselves in here.
Right. So we need to tell ourselves
here.
That's true, that's not true. And the filter is God's word. What does God say about us? Not my parents, not my friends, no one else. What does God say about us? And He adores us. So even a parent who adores their children is not even compared. There's nothing, it's not even close to how much God loves us.
It's like how we like the food we eat.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, some people are like thankful so much for their food.
That's true. And sometimes we're not. We need to be careful with that. We need to be thankful for all the things we have. So thanks for coming on the podcast today.
Our hair.
Like our hair, yeah. Thanks for coming on the podcast. Love it. Always, always. See you next time.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to the Family Features Podcast. It has been an honor to serve. Find out more about Dr. Gilbert and his resources for you and your family's growth and success at healinglives.com. And if you think you could use some support along the way, be sure to book that call at bookdrg.com. And one more thing, if you found this helpful, please share this podcast with others so that we can change the world together.